Station 33, Stained Glass, the Childhood of Mary. We're now standing in the right transept of the cathedral. While it doesn't have an official title for this tour, I'd like to suggest calling it the Transept of Mary, because everything here tells about her. In this area, there are 3 large stained glass windows. Let's view them in order, not left to right, but in the historical sequence of Mary's life. That means we begin with the window on the far right. Now, when most people see this scene, they'll likely say, "That's the Holy Family." But if you look closely, there's a small but important detail at the bottom of the window that gives us more information. You'll see the Latin inscription, Maria Filia, Anna Mater, and Joachim Pater. That translates to Mary, daughter, Anne, her mother, and Joachim, her father. So this stained glass isn't depicting the Holy Family with Jesus. It's showing a moment from Mary's early life, a snapshot of her childhood with her parents, Saints Anne and Joachim. According to the Proto-Evangelium of James, Joachim was a devout and noble man, married to Anne. But for a long time, they were without children. And in their culture, this was considered a source of shame. That's because people saw it as a sign of being out of favor with God. This theme of childlessness leading to a miraculous birth is one we see often in scriptures, such as Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebekah, Jacob and Rachel, and even with the parents of Samson and of Samuel. In each of these cases, the birth of a child marked a significant point in salvation history. In the story of Joachim and Anne, an angel appeared to Joachim, promising that he and Anne would conceive a child with a special purpose. Anne, in her own prayers, had vowed that if God blessed her with a child, she would dedicate that child to him. Their prayers were answered, and Anne gave birth to Mary. The Church has celebrated the Nativity of Mary since the 5th century, and we mark her birth each year on September 8th. Working backwards, the Church celebrates her Immaculate Conception 9 months earlier, on December 8th. Let's dig a little deeper into this. One of the early Church Fathers, named Tertullian, reflected deeply on Mary's role in salvation history. He pointed out that humanity's fall from grace began with a man and a woman, Adam and Eve. In that instance, the woman came from the man. So he said that our redemption would also come from a man and a woman. But this time, through a beautiful poetic reversal, the man would come from the woman, Jesus, born of Mary. Just as Venus, the morning star, appears before the sunrise, announcing the light of the sun that's coming, Mary appears in human history before Christ to prepare the way for the true light of the world. And that's why the Church calls her the morning star. Now let's return to the stained glass for another topic. Joachim and Anne are teaching young Mary to read sacred scriptures, forming her faith long before she ever stepped into a synagogue. This is what the Church calls the Ecclesia Domestica, the domestic church, the sacred space of the home where children first learn to know and love God. It's a reminder that parents should not wait for the school or the church to teach children about God. Instead, children should learn this from their parents at home. Let's move on to the coat of arms at the bottom of the stained glass. There's no need to move position, so we'll go straight into it.